Yeah. Is my one second. Yeah, is my voice is audible? Hello. Hi, Nilma. And is my voice is
Yes,
audible?
sir. Voice is audible.
Okay. So today we'll be discussing some important concept like append concept, merge concept, group by concept. So these are the major three concept that we'll be discussing in the today's class. So in order to understand the merge concept in Power Query, the what is meant by words, what is meant by append, what is meant by group by, I will explain you. But in order to understand what is merge concept in Power Query, you need to understand the concepts of joins in SQL. So what is the concepts of the joins? If you're able to understand this concept only, then you can understand the merge concept in Power Query easily. So first I will need to, I want to explain what are the different type of joins are there. You need to understand because in the SQL, like in the Power BI interview also, they are asking some questions related to the joins. So what is meant by the joins? That the meaning of joins means in the real time, every data which cannot be present in a single table. Suppose if you went to the Power BI desktop, this is a Power BI desktop. Suppose you load some different tables over here. In the real time, what happens? All the data which is required for building the visuals may not be present in a single table. In some case, what happens? There is a need arises that we need to combine the data which is present from the different table and you can join that table to the for suppose this is a first table like orders table, there may be chance that from the people table you need to merge two or three columns to the order table. So that type of scenario will comes into the real time. So joining some columns from other tables into the first, suppose join the column from other tables to the first table, we call it as joins. Okay. So in order to perform, understand this joins concept, first we need to understand what are the different type of the joins are there actually. So when you look at the joins, there are basically four types of joins will be there. Inner join, left outer join, right outer join, and full outer join. So these are the four types of the joints will be present. Apart from that, you have another types of joints called as self joint and Cartesian joint. Let us discuss about actually what is the joints. So when you look at this inner joint, suppose I have a table A. Suppose this is a table A complete consisting of employee table. So consider that as a table A. You have another table called as department table. So consider that table as table B. Now, your client is asking you, I have two tables, employee table, which is table A, department table, which is table B. He is asking you, create a table. We should pull out what are the common records which are present in between table A and table E. That means employee table and table B. What are the common records are there? And those common records only I need to get in the final output table. So in order to perform this type of requirement, you use a concept called as inner join. What is meant by inner join? Suppose table A has some records, table B has some records. When you perform inner join, it will pull out the matching records which are present in both the tables. So this area shader region, we call it as matching records because this area contains table A data and table B data. So these are the common records which are present both in table and table B. When you perform inner join, this final output contains the matching records which are common for both the tables. Suppose if you have two different tables, your client is asking what are the common records present in the both tables. I want to see that record. Then you will perform the inner join. No need to understand this formula. This formula we'll study while understanding the SQL. So now there should be a reason, right? If you are trying to get the matching records, how you can get the matching record? Based on common ID, you need to go to the employee table. We need to scan the department table. You need to find what are the common IDs which are present both for employee table and department table. When you closely observe this employee table and department table, the employment table has department ID, department table has department ID. That means these two are the common columns which are present in both the tables. Based upon these common columns, based upon these common column will function as a join key, we will try to pull out the matching records. See now here department ID 101 it is there. In the department table, in the employee table, we have department ID 101. In the department also, we have department ID 101. So as this based on this common record, it will pull out John salary and sales. See, John salary and the department ID is 101, 101. So this is common and sales. You got. Why we got this records? Because here department based, it is look at a common record base. These two are the common records are there which are present in the both tables. So you got this record, John, salary, and department. And come to next one. In this column, department ID 102 is a common ID. Here also 102. So based on this common ID, you will pull out this Charles, salary, and marketing, and those information you will get over here. Because why we got only these two rows? Reason being, here in the employee table, we has department ID 101, which is common. 102 is a department ID, which is both common. Based upon this common record, based on this common ID, you can able to pull this record. But in the final output, you will not get this Tina 60,000 and this finance. Reason being, we don't have matching records. Here department ID is 103, department ID is 104, and there are no matching records are there. So that means these are non-matching. This white region called non-matching record. So those non-matching records will not you will get in the final output because you are performing the inner join. When you perform the inner join between the two tables, it will look for common records. Based upon the common records, it will get based upon it will look for the common ID. Based upon the common ID, it will pull out only the records which are common and non-matching record. The pull out the records which are common for the both the tables and the non-matching records will not get in the final output. This joint we call it as inner joint. See, this is the table A. This is table B. If you perform inner join, you will get the central region. That means this contains both matching and non-matching. It contains only the matching records which are present both in table A and table B. See, inner join, it returns all matching rows between both the tables based on the join key. What is the join key here? Department ID is the join key. 101, 102. Based on this join key, it will pull out the records which are common for both the tables. That is called inner join. That means you have two tables. If you perform inner join on the both the tables, what are the matching records are there? Those records will be pulled out. That is called as inner join. Now, what is meant by left outer joint? In order to understand the left outer joint, you can see here. When you perform left outer joint, it returns all rows from the left side of the table. So this is the left side of the table. So from the left side of the table, it will pull out all the rows. Okay. So that means this have the left and it will pull out the matching rows from the right side of the table. So, and for non-matching records, it will give the null value. So in order to understand the left outer join, suppose we have the table A. This table we call it as left side of the table. That means employee table. We have table B. This table we call it as right side of the table. Okay. The table we call it right side of the table, that is department table. When you perform the left outer join, what happens? It will pull out all records from the left side of the table. So whatever the records present in the left side, the table A, it will pull out all the records. Then what about table B? In the table B, see this is a shaded region, right? So it will pull out matching records, only matching records from the second right side of the table. That means table B. From the table B, it will pull out only matching records. And what about this non-matching records then? For non-matching records which are there in the table B, it will give the null values and an output. That means it will give the blank values. Now see, left outer join means it will pull all records from left side of the table, and from the from the right side of the table, it will pull out only matching records. Suppose if I take this screenshot, it will be very easy for you to understand. When you perform the left outer join, you can see here left outer join pull all records from the left side of the table. See total, it will pull out all the records. And from the right side of the table, only matching records. That means here, this is the region, right? So this is suppose this as a table B. In the table B, this region is matching for both, right? So it will pull out the matching records from the table B. And for what about this non-matching records? In this non-matching records in the table B, in the final output, it will give the null values or it will give the blank values. Okay, let us see now. See, this is the employee table. This is the department table. So when you perform the left joint, it will pull all records from the left side of the table. See, John 14101, it came. Charles 5102, it came. Tina 62103, it came. So it will pull out all records from the left side of the table. Next, it is saying matching records from the right side of the table. So for this 101, you have 101 sales. These are the matching records. So you got here 101 sale. For this 102 is a join key. You have 102 marketing. You got this. That means from the right side of the table, it will pull only matching records. What are the matching records? For this 101, 102, you have 101 sales, 102 marketing. We got. And what about this non-matching records in the right side of the table? 104 finance is a non-matching records because here you have 103, but here 104 and finance here 104. This is a non-matching records, right? You don't have a non-matching. For this non-matching records, what it will give? It will return the null values. See, it has returned the null values. That means when you perform the left outer joint. So if I take again the screenshot for this, it will be better understand. You will understand more better. So yeah, when you perform the left outer joint, see if I take the, it will return all records from the left side of the table. John, Charles, this all records from the left side of the table you got. And it will pull out matching records from the right side of the table. So it 101 sales. This for 101 you have 100 sales. So this matching record you got here. This 102 record 102. These are the common. For this 102 you have marketing. So this record you got matching record. So from the right side of the table you'll get the matching records. And for all non-matching records from right side of the table. So what is a non-matching record? It has 103. We have here department is 104. For non-matching records, what it will release this 104 finance is a non-matching record, right? Instead of getting that non-matching record, it is giving the empty value. This is empty means nothing but a null value. So left outer join, it will bring all records from left side of the table and matching rows from the right side of the table. So this is called as matching records from the right side of the table. And for non-matching records, this in the table B, these are the non-matching records, right? For non-matching records, it will give the null values. It will give the null values. Okay. Left or join returns all rows from the left side of the table, all rows from the left side of the table. Matching records from the right side of the table, 101 sales, 102 marketing. And for non-matching record, that means 104 finance. This is the right side of the table. You don't have matching record. For that, it has given the null values. You don't have values. So that we call it as left outer joint. Now, there is another joint called as right outer joint. So it is quite opposite same. Right outer joint means it will bring all records from the right side of the table. So this is the employee table that is called as table A. This is department table we call as table B. Right outer joint returns all records from the right side of the table. See, table B means this. 101 sales you got 101. 102 marketing, 102 marketing. 104 finance, 104 finance. So these are the all records from the right side of the table you got. And matching records from the it will bring matching records from the left side of the table. For this 101, we have what? 101 4,000 John. You got this for based on this matching record. It is getting the records from left side of the table, John and 48,000. We have 102, 102. This is the common ID. For based on this common ID, it will pull two Charles 50,000, two Charles 55,000. But we have 104 finance. For this, do you have any matching record? You have 103. For this 104 department ID, you have non-matching records. If there are non-matching record, instead of bringing three Tina 62,000 for all non-matching records from left side of the table. What are the non-matching records from the left side of the table? 103 Tina. These are non-matching records because we don't have common IDs. So in that non-matching place, it will bring the null values. Okay. It returns all rows from the right side of the table. See, these are the all rows. It has written all rows. It returns matching rows from the left side of the table. 101, 102. We have John sales and marketing. Charles marketing. These are 101, 101 matching record, 102, 102 matching records we got. And for non-matching records, that means 103 and this Tina, these are non-matching records, right? Instead of non-matching records, it will bring the null values. So that is called as right outer joint. Right outer joint returns all values from the right side of the table. And from the left side of the table, it will bring only this matching records. And for non-matching records in the table B, that means left side of the table for non-matching record. For this non-matching record, it will bring the null values. That is called as right outer joint. And one more thing, the fourth joint, we call it as full outer joint. Full outer joint means it will perform right outer joint, it will perform left outer joint, it will perform the self joint. That means it will bring all types of joints. That means it will pull the values from entire to the all the tables. See, it will what it will do full outer joint, it will perform left joint. Left joint means it is pulling all records from left side of the table. And a full outer joint will perform right joint. Right joint means what are the records present in the right side of the table? You got all the rights. See all the table. 101 sales, you have 102 marketing there, 104 men. And it will perform inner joint. Inner joint means matching records. 101, 101, 102, 102. 101, 102, 102. The inner joint is also there. And in the right joint, in the left joints, it will pull all records from the left side of the table. For non-match record for right side of the table, it bring the null values. So it perform the left joint. Right joint means it pull all records from the right side of the table. For non-match records, it will bring the null values. So that means it perform the left joint. That means full outer joint means irrespective of all record, it will pull out entire records from both side of the table. That means full outer joint will bring the matching records. That's why it will do the inner joint. It will bring the records from the left side of the table. And for non-matching records from the right side of the table, it will bring the null values. That means it will perform left joint. And it also perform the right joint. Right joint means it will pull all records from the right side of the table. And for non-matching present for non-match records from the left side of the table, it will bring the null values. That means full outer joint is performing inner joint. It is performing the left joint. It is performing the right joint. Thereby, it is pulling all the records which are present in the both the table. That we call it as full outer joint. Okay. Now, there is a joint called as self joint. In some case of scenario, we will join the same table with the same table. Okay, table A, we will duplicate and we will join the table A with table B. That means we join employee table with employee table. We join department table with the same department table. So if you joining the table with the same table, we perform that joint, we call it as self joint. In the self joint, we'll use inner joint. But in the real time, we are not using self joint. But most of the four joints are very important. What is left joint? What is right joint? What is inner joint? And what is full outer joint? Self joint means joining the table with the same table. We call it as self joint. Now with the interviews, Cartesian joint. In the real time also, we don't use Cartesian join. For the interview purpose, they are asking this Cartesian join. What is meant by Cartesian join? That means every row of the table is added to every row of other table. Okay. Suppose John 48,010 is there. This John, it will go and add to this 101 sale. And John 48,000, this record, again, it will add 102 marketing. So when I use this, when I take the screenshot, it will be more helpful for you. So you take the screenshot of this. Cartesian join means this every row of the table. That means one join this row, right? This row of the table we join with every row of other table. That means 101 sales, 102 marketing. See, John 48,101 and it will join 101 sales. Same record, it will once we scan it, the same record it will scan other table also. John 48, 101, 102 marketing. Okay, that is over. Now second record. What is the second record you will take? Again, this second record will scan Charles 50,102, right? This will go and shine 101 sales. And same Charles 50,102, it will scan the record 102 marketing. That's why John 48,101, this is there, right? This will go and scan 101 scan, 101. Again, that same John 48,000, it will go and second record also in the second table 102 market. That is completed. Now suppose if it is a if it has department table one more row, that one more row 103 or marketing something. Again, the John's 48,101, it will bring 103 sales something, 103 HR. So if you have any additional table in the department table, 104, 104, the marketing department, it is a research department. What it will do, John 48,101, it will bring the 104 research department also. That means every row in the table one will scan every all first row, every row in the depart first table will scan all rows in the second table and will bring that values. So that is called as Cartesian join. Now Charles 150,102 is there, right? It will go and bring 101 sales. Charles 101 sales. Again, Charles 50,102, it will bring 102 marketing. 102. That means in the final output, what you will get when you perform partition join. Suppose if the table A has two rows, table B has two rows, the final output you will get is 2 into 2, 4 rows you will get. Suppose because each row in the table will scan all other rows. Suppose the table A has 3 rows and table B has 3 rows. So what is the final output will get? 3 into 3, 9 rows you will get. That means 9 rows you will get. That means each row of the table will be joined with every other row of other tables. There will be here, there will be no join between the two tables and no need to specify any join condition in this case. Partition join. We will get the output row count as multiplication of both table row count. That means table A has 5 rows, table B has 4 rows. Final output you will get 5 into 420. Suppose table A has 5 rows, table B has 5 rows. So what is the final output you will get Cartesian join? 5 into 5, 25 rows you will get. Suppose table A has 6 rows, table B has 3 rows only. Final output how many rows? 6 into 3, 18 you will get. Reason being, every row will go and every row of a table will join and bring out of every other row in the second type of the table. That means each record in the left side of the table, each record will scan all other records which are present in the right side of the table or second table. That joint we call it as Cartesian joint. And the number of records, you will get the multiplication of the rows. Suppose table A has 10 records, table B has 6, table A has 10 rows data, table B has 6 rows data. In the final output, I will get 10 into 6, 60 rows data I will get. That is called as Cartesian join. We will get the output row as a multiplication of the both the tables row count. Reason being, each table will go and scan all other records which are present in the second table. Suppose if you have this is a one row, if there are 30 rows are there, this row will go and scan row by row, 30 rows it will scan and it will give 30 records. So that's why the final output you will be getting as a multiplication of the both the tables which are performed in the Cartesian join. But in the real time, they are not asking this. You will not use the Cartesian join, but for the interview purpose, it will be very useful for you. Now, they will not ask directly definition. When you join in any other company, what they will do, they will give some scenario based question of the joins and they will ask you what are the final output that you will get when you perform the join. So let us solve one example over here in the joins in SQL. They will give the same like this only. They will give table A have one record. They will give table B which will have some records. Then they will ask if you perform inner join in the final output, how many records I will get? What is my output number? They will ask. Suppose I have a table A like this. This may record 1, 2, 1, 3 null. I have a table B which has 1, 2, 2, 4 null. When you perform inner joint, how many records I will get? That is our question. So when you perform inner join means inner join means it will pull out. It will first it will take the table A. From this it will see are there any matching records in the table B. If there are matching records, it will pull out the data. So you have 1 year in the table A. If you perform inner join, that means inner join means it will pull matching records, right? So in the table, we have one for this first record. Do you have any ones in the table B? So there is one is there. So that records will be pulled. You will writing as one. Very clear. Now there is another option called as two. For this two, it will try to fetch the matching record two is present anywhere in the table B. For this two, in the table B, you have 1, 2. So one record you will get for this. And for this two again, you have another another two is there. That means two records you will get in the final output. So that's why 1 plus 2. For this one, you have only one. So the output is for that one record. For this two, you have two twos. That means in the final output, you will get two records. And third one, you have another one. This for this one, are there any matching records are there? For this one, you have one which is a matching record. So plus one you will get. So in the total output, 1 plus 2 plus 1, 4. That means 4 rows you will be getting, 4 records you will be getting in the final output. In that way, you need to consider. But in the real time, many people will make the mistake. If they ask such type of questions, what mistake you will do, right? For this one, you have counted one. Yes, fine. So you will give one value. And for this two, what you will do? For this two is one record. For this two also one record. So you need to give two. This is the correct way. But what we'll do, this two, as these two are same. For this two is same. Instead of two records, you will give one record. That means your answer will be wrong. Because every for this two, if any two is there, for that you will get one record. For this two, again, this two, you will get one record. So in the output, you will get two records. But the people will, for this two already, this two is same. So you will count only at once and you will say answer as three. That means you are wrong. And one other mistake, what you will do, for this one, you will scan the record. What is there? Only one is there. So instead of giving plus one, what people will do the mistake, for this one, already I have counted one. Again for one, if I counted again one, it will become a duplicate. So the people will forget to count. In that condition also, you will not get the results correctly. Okay. While counting the records, you need to follow simple procedure. Suppose this is one record. What are the common records are there for this one? I find only one, just mention it as 1 over. Come to, for this 2, any records are there. This 2 for 1, 2, 1, 2 is there. For this 1, 2, 2 2s are there. Mention plus 2. And come as third one. For 1, is there any records are there? I find only 1, plus 1, 4. In this way, simple way you need to calculate. And don't apply over knowledge. Like for 1, this is 1, I will give 1. For these two are same, I will count only 1. That is wrong. Again, for counting 1, already for 1 I have counted 1. Now if I count it with you think it is a duplicate, that is not a correct process. In order to find the sequence in the joint, number of output, take that count any record, see whether records are there in the other table. It is present 1 time, you give 1. It is present 2 times, it will give 2. If you present 3 times, you give the 3. Then only you try to get the answer perfectly. Okay. Definitely you will ask in any Power Query interview, they will give such type of tables and be perfect with the basics. And if they ask under such of example also, you can answer in the confidential manner. You can answer within very confident manner. Now third one. So 3. For this 3, you don't have any records. You know. And one more thing for counting the records. Here we have null. And for this we have 2 nulls. And they will ask 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 they will give. That is a wrong answer. Because a null means no data. Null never matches with null. 1 will matches with which one? This 2 will matches with this 2 too. You will get 2 records. But null as a rule in the SQL, null never matches with null. Blank never matches with blank. So you should not count these values of the null in the final output. If you count that null values, that means your calculation will go wrong. Just you need to count only values as per the rules in the SQL. Null never matches with null. Okay, that is one of the reason. Now left joint you have understood. Inner joint it is given. So what is meant by left joint? Left joint means bring all records from the left side of the table. So what are the records which are present in the left side of the table? Left joint, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all. That means when you perform the left joint, what it will bring? The left joint first also perform inner joint. Okay. So when you perform the inner joint, how many records you got? Suppose in the left joint, you have got the 4 records. Okay. See how you can got the 4 records in the left side of the table for this one. Okay. For this one, you got 1. For this 2, you got 2, 2 plus 2. And for this one, you got 1 plus 1. That means 1 plus 2 plus 1, 4. That means left joint will perform the inner joint. So what is the inner joint? It will get. And all records from the left side of the table. So 1 is corrected. For 1, you got this one. For 2, you got these 2. For this one, you got 1. So 1 plus 2 plus 1, 4 you got. And for 3, are there any matching records? You don't have any matching records. So what for that 3, it will bring the null values. Okay, 4 plus you can give plus 1. And for this null is also null value. Okay, null never matches with null. For this null also you will get 1 value. So 4 plus 1 plus 1, your total output will be the 6. The total output will be 6. That means it pull out the matching records from both sides of the table. That means 1 to 1. And all records from the left side of the table. For the left side of the table, we have 3 and which is not matching with anyone. For this null, null never matches very null. For 2, that means for 3, you will get 1 value. For null, you will get 1 value. So 4 plus for 1 plus 1, that you will get 6 records in the final output. That is called as left joint. Now, what is meant by right joint? Right joint also perform the inner joint. When you perform the inner joint, how many values you got? 4. Okay, 4. And next, what are the other records you will get? So for this one, for this 4 you got. For this right joint will perform inner joint, that 4 you got. And next one, 1 plus 1 plus 1. That means for this 1, okay. And for this one, you have the matching record 1 you got. Okay. For this 2, you have matching record. For this 2, you got it. Okay. See, for this 2 also, you have matching records. You got it. But for 4, do you have any matching records? For the right side of the table, for this, are there any? This is the right side of the table. In the left side of the table, do you have any matching? No matching records. So, but when you perform the right side of the table, it will bring all records from the right side of the table, right? So, what are the common records? That means it perform inner join and all records from the right side of the table. When you perform the inner join, it brought one. So, whatever other values are there for this four, you will get one value. This null never matches with null, you got one. And for this null never matches with null, plus one. That when you perform the right out, you perform the right joint, in the final output you will get four. That means inner joint values one plus one. So all records from the right side of the table. So for one, you have matching records. For this two, you have two matching records. For this two, you have two matching records. For one, you have one and one record. But for non-matching records, for four, you don't have any matching records. For that, you will get one record. For null never matches with null, so you will get plus one record. For again plus null never matches with null, you will get one record. 4 plus 1, you will get the 7 records in the final output. Okay, that is called as, this is how you need to understand the right. What is meant by full outer joint? Full outer joint will perform inner joint. When you perform the inner joint, what it will happen? It will got the four records. That four records you got. And the full outer next full outer joint means it perform the right joint. When you perform the right joint, this when you perform the left joint, 4 1 plus 1, right? This 4 means matching records. Already 4 we have. And the left joint will perform 4 plus 1 plus 1, right? So 1 plus 1 is appearing over here. And next, right joint. Right joint means for this joint, you will when you perform the right joints over here in the full outer joint, when you perform this common records 4, that means it perform the inner joint, it will perform the right joint, it will perform the left joint. So when you perform the inner joint, the value get 4, the 4 is added over here. Plus full outer joint perform the left joint. Left joint means 4 plus 1 plus 1, right? Okay, 4 plus 1 plus 1. 4 means common records are 4. You got for 3 and null, you will get the values. So for 1 plus 1, this for right joint, left joint, we have plus 1, right? So the plus 1 is related to the right joint. And perform to the now 1 plus 1 will be this 4 will be the inner joint. 1 plus 1, it will be the left joint values. And for inner joint, full out joint perform the inner joint. Inner joint means already for this right joint, it will also perform inner joint, right? When you perform inner joint, 4 you will get. The 4 already we got. Full outer joint value you can go there. Then right joint means it will pull out the inner joint. That means it will do the inner joint and it will pull all records from the right side of the table. So for one, you have matching records you got. For two, you have matching records. For these two, you have matching record. In the right joint, you have 1 plus 1 plus 1. For 4, we don't have any matching record. For null never matches with null. So that means that 4 will come over here. Okay. For null plus 1 over here, that plus will come over here. And for this null plus 1, that plus 1 will come over here. So when you perform this joint, when you perform this full outer joint, so I will select this. Yeah, full outer joint means it will perform right inner joint. So what if you perform inner joint, what is the final output we got? 4, right? Full outer joint will perform inner joint. If you perform inner joint, you will get output 4. So that output 4 is written over here. And full out joint will perform so left joint. Left side means left joint will perform inner joint plus 1 plus 1. That means all records from the left side of the table. That 1 plus 1 will come over here. And right joint perform the inner joint. Already for inner joint 4 you have given over here. And for right joint, another you will get 3, 1 plus 1 plus me. That for 4, you don't have matching records, you will get 1. For null, you don't have matching records. For this, you will get 1. For this null never matches with null. You don't have matching records. That's why you'll get 1 plus 1 plus 1. That means 4 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. You will get 9 as a output. When you perform the inner join, you will get as a 9 as a output. So this 4 will be the inner join. 1 plus 1, this 1 plus starting 1 plus 1, it is of left join. And last this 1 plus 1 plus 1, the last three digits, it is related to the right join. So that means it perform left join, it will perform inner join 4, it will perform the left join, and it perform the right join also. And your final output, you will be getting as 9. Okay, 4 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So total you will get the 9 records when you perform the full outer join. Okay. So these are the joins in SQL, and they will ask how many they have this table 1 and you have table B. How many output I will get when I perform Cartesian join? Cartesian join means it will multiply the rows. Table row has how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 into table B has how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means 5 into 6, 30. In the final output, you will get the 30 records. So Cartesian joint, we told it contains a multiplication of the two rows. Table row has how many rows? Null. If it is null, if it is no value, it will not consider. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows are there. 5. In this 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 nulls, 6. That means 5 into 6. Total 30 rows data you will get when you perform this Cartesian joint. Okay. These are the basic joint in SQL. Now, with this understanding, let us move to the further topics, what we call it as merge concept. Okay. What is a merge concept? So here, let me discuss about the merge concept. So I am open this Power BI desktop. Okay. In the Power BI desktop, I came into this, we call it as Power Query Editor. Okay. Right now we are in the Power Query Editor. What is my requirement? See, I have employee table. In the employee table, I have employment number, employee name, job, manager, hiring date, salary, some department number we have. Now, what my client is asking, there is one other table called as department table. In the department table, we have one column called location. Can you bring this column, location column, which is there in this department table, and I want to add that location column in the employee table at the dead right end. That means I want to bring the data, the location data which is there in the department table, and I want to add to the current table called as employee table at the dead right end. So I want to merge, I want to bring that column from the department table to add to the employee table. So this concept we call it as merge concept. Getting the columns from some other table and adding to the present table, that we call it as merge concept. Now, how you will apply the merge? In order to perform the merge, first you need to go to the home tab. First, your first table your is employee table. In the employee table, you need to come to the home tab. In the home tab, what is my requirement? You need to understand the requirement. This employee table at the dead right end, I want to bring that column, that is location column of this department, and I need to add to this employee table. So that is my requirement. Now, in order to achieve, achieve this requirement, first you need to select the employee table, the starting table. You need to merge the data, right? So you need to click on merge queries, and you need to click on merge queries as new. When you click on merge queries as new, what is my requirement? In the employee table, I want to add for this employee table, what a table I need to add? Department table. And in the department table, what we have this location. So I want to add this location table. It should be added over here. So if I take the screenshots, you need to understand. Presently, I'm in employee table like this. At the dead right end, I want to bring the column which is present in the location table and I want to add over here. Just that is my requirement. I want to merge the column which is present in the department column second table. I want to merge it to the current table employment table at the right writing. So this in order to do this, we'll do a concept called as merge concept. Merge queries as new first table employee table and now in order to bring this column to over here, the first step to perform the merge operation, you need to look at the what is the common ID between both the table. In the both the table, when you closely observe, you have department number. In the department table also, you have the department table. So department column. Now you need to select both these and click on OK. Okay. Once you click on this OK, merge queries as new you have selected, right? New table will be created. In this name table will contains employee table, information and location information also present. Now, when you see at this employee table you have added right in the dead right end, uh, in the employee table, employment location, this is a new table created. So in the dead right end, here we need to get the column name, right? In the department table, you have column that you need to add it over here. But when you merge queries as new, here it will show instead of that column name, it will show the table like this. In that condition, you need to expand this. Okay, once we expand, one you to deselect this. So from the department table, from the department, what are the values columns you want? So I don't want a department name, department number. Okay, because department number already is there, it is duplicated. Now I want the location I want. Okay, and department name also it is not there, right? In the employee table, we don't have department name. So you can select the department name also. So these two columns which are there in the department column now will be added to this employee table. So let us see how it is added. Now let us click on OK. Once you click on OK, in this the department name and location will add. Okay. See department name in the department name and location. Now, this table, these columns are coming from which table? These columns are coming from which table? Department table, right? So in the department table, we have department and location. These tables, department and location, we are adding to this employee table at the date writing. Okay, at the date writing. So how you have added? You have created this table we have selected, the starting table, the employee table. I clicked on merge queries as new. Then you are able to get you need to first it will come as table. In that condition, if you expand, the department and location table will be added over here. Now you can closely observe this merge queries as new. When you create it, you will find two over here. What is department name and location? So how you can find this department is coming from which table? So once you load it, it will automatically load department name. That means this department name is coming from DEPT. That means department table. Here also department location. That means this location is coming from department table. When you open the department table, you will have the location, right? It is coming from there. So that is called as merge queries. When you perform the merge operation, so the number of columns will increase. Okay. Previously, we have the columns where to where in the employee table from employee number, you would have up to department number only. We have the values. Now, when you perform the merge operation, the number of columns will increase, right? Number of the columns will increase and data will be added. Okay. The number of columns will be increased when you perform the merge operation. And next important three, in order to perform the merge operation, what is the basic rule? The two tables should have a common ID. When the two tables will have a common ID only, then you will perform the merge operation. Now we'll perform the second one. Okay. Next section we call again. So if I want to repeat this, how I perform the merge to this employee table, I want to add a department number. I will repeat the merge process. How you can select to the employee table. If I want to add department number, I need to select the employee. What you need to select merge queries. In the merge queries, we have merge queries as new you have selected. So presently we are in the employee table that it will represent. I want to get the data from department table, right? So here instead of that, you will select department. And third step, you look at the common ID. Here we have department number. Here we are department member. Both are the common IDs. Now, after clicking the common, you need to click on OK. Once you click on OK, it will create merge one. So you need to remain as employee table plus location or employee table plus location. Yeah, that means even the employee table plus we have the department table. In the department, we have to bring in the location also and apart from the department name. So like this you will. So once you extend over here, now the data directly will not added over here. So previous when you grew employment location table, instead of table is there, but we expand this, you will come like this. So instead of here also you need to come over here and you need to come this table. In this table, you try to expand. How you can expand? You select on expand. Department number we not select because already department number is common for both IDs. In both the columns, department number is there. If you select again, it will be duplicates of the data. So I will not select this. Department number, I want to bring the department name from other table. If you want to bring the location, which is present in the other table. So you need to select and click on OK. So see department name and location. The department is coming research, it is coming, and location it is coming Dallas. So you can connect the data which is there in the department. In the department table, we have name and location, name and location, and the data which present in over there, you are able to see over here. Okay, we are able to map the values over here. So where is the data here? Department member and location like this. So if you perform the merge operation, what will do? The number of columns will increase. Okay. The width of the table will be increased. That means table size will increase horizontally. Horizontally, it will here like new values added. Horizontally, it will increase. And number of the tables when you perform the merge operation, what is the important condition? At least both the two columns will should have a common ID. When common ID is present, then only we can able to pull the data. Now, second, we'll discuss with the important concept called as append concept. What is meant by append concept? Suppose the requirement is if you join any company, every week new data in the Excel is coming. Some new data is added to the Excel. Now, what you will do if you don't have knowledge on Excel, you will directly every month, every week, you will try to copy the data from old file and you will add it to the new file. So this will be helpful when you have new 2 or 3 files. Suppose if you in a week you want to find the 100 files folders which are there in the folder, you want to club the data into a single Excel, or you can convert the get the data into a single table. How you can able to achieve? So you can achieve that by using a concept called as append concept. Okay. In order to use the append concept, let us load some files over here. Okay. Let us load the recent sources. I will go to download. New sources, Excel, the download, append. So append means April data, April 2016. It is text is 6 years, I think. April 2016 data. April 2016 data. So this the suppose is April 2. Now in the next month, the new data is adding. So what how you can connect to that new data? May 2016. You can select this new source. May to the May information. So May you have selected, April you have selected this April. May also. See, May also you have selected. April, May. Now you want to select June. All these are not Excel test files. Text yes. In the downloads, you can select April, May, June. See CSV. That is CSV. That's why I have selected TSV. Right, July. See July date. That means what is the data which present it will display. You got April 2016 data, May 2016 data, June 2016 data. If I want to connect the July data, Excel, not I will take CSV. Select July to July data. See July data. Now 4 months data is added. Now what is my requirement? So April 2016 it is there. To this data, whatever the data present in the May and June or July, we need to bring it in the same table. Or as a first step, you will try to give April 2016. To this April 2016, I want to add May data. Okay. And that May data should, how I should add, I need to get April over here. And if I append in the dead end, what is the date? Like suppose in the dead end, you have 28 or something, 34 2016. After that April, May data should come. It should add in down. Vertically, it should add. So in order to add that data type, in order to add such type of data, we use a concept called as append concept. So select April 2016. This is the first file. You can go as append queries. In the appendix, you need to click as append queries as new. Once you click on append queries as new, that means new table will be created. So I am selecting append query as new. Now it will ask,
Sir, I have a question.
right?
So when we click on append queries, we have two options, right? Append queries and append queries
Append queries
new.
as new. So when you click on append queries as new, without append queries as new, if you click append queries, so for this April 2016 only, the May data, if you add May, that data will add it to that file only. But I don't want that. So if I click as append query as new, a new table will be created. New table created. In the table, we'll get April data and May 2016 data. Okay.
Okay.
That means a new, if you click on append query as new, a new table will be created. If you click on append queries only, that April only will be there. To that you will add May data.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Right now, that's why it is better you try to create a new table, append query as new. So right now we are in which table? April table. That April table is present here. To this April table, I want to add May table, right? So the May table, second table, May table. So you need to select the May table over here. So May 2016 you will select. April 2016 to that May 2016 you are adding. Just you need to click on OK. So append one, new table is created. So I want to rename this table. It contains April data plus May data. So you have selected it, April plus May. So when you come over here, the append this file, initially you see April data, how many rows are there? 110 rows. May, you have how many rows? 139. 110 plus 139, how much? 249. See, when you look at April plus May, you will get 249 rows. So this April May means April contains only April data. See, it contains April data. May file, it contains May data. But here April to May, you can see It contains April data. When you scroll down, you will get the May data. April. You will scroll down, see May data. That means both here 110 and 139, when you add, you will get 249. So what is the difference that you have noticed between merge and append? In the append, what happens? The data will present added from downside. Okay, downside, it will add from downside. And when you see that append, the number of rows will increase. But when you perform the merge operation, the number of columns has increased, right? Because data will be added here. This horizontally here, data will added when we see in the merge. And one more, what is the condition if you want to merge two tables? There should be one common ID. That what we have discussed in the previous. If you want merge the data from two different tables, they should contains common ID. Based on that common ID only, we will merge the tables. When you merge, the tables will be the horizontal, it will be increased, number of columns will increase. But when you append this April and May data into single, the values will be added from downside, the number of rows will increase. And one more thing, in order to perform the append concept, it should have same number of columns. Transferred account customer four columns. So in the May also it should have trans account customer department amount. Here also customer translate account customer department account. Those number of column names should be same. First point. Next, number of the column should be present in the same order. See here we have first translate account customer department amount. Here also translate account customer department name. So same number of columns should be there. Column should be second point. Column should be present in same order. Third point, the data type should be same. So when you look at this home, when you go to the home tab, when you look at all that, if it is a text data type, it should also contains the data type should be text. See data type is date. Here also data type is whole number. Here's data type is text. For this also, this data type is date. This data type is whole number. This data type is also text. So when you perform append concept, in order to perform the append concept, it should satisfy three conditions. It should contain same column numbers. Second point, that column should be present in the same order. Third point, both the tables which should have same data type. If three satisfies, condition satisfies, in the final result, you will get the values correct. Even the column names are different. You can append the tables, but that is useless because in first 50 days we will get transferred account customer department. If the column names are not same, so instead here of trans data, you will not get the customer information. For first 130 record, if you will get date, and next 140 records, if you get the customer information, that is wrong, right? That's why in order to perform the append concept, it is your duty to check the number of columns should be same and the column should be present in the same order and all the column data types should be same for two different tables. Then only you will perform the append operation. We have discussed how to add two tables for April to add the May data. Now I will explain for the April month how you add May and June data. Select the April month. Hmm, Go to home. In the home, go to the append, click as append queries as new. So in order to two tables of two table, you can select three or more tables. That means see three or more tables. In this April 2016 already selected. To this I want to add May table. Select May, click on add. The May table will add. To this I want to add June table. June, select this June, add. June table will add. To this I want to add July table. Select this July, click on add. July table. That means you can append April, May month data, June month data, and July month data. So now you click on OK. So here in this, in the final output, what you will get the new table April month data, plus May month data, plus June month data, plus July. See, when you look at this data in the April month, you have 110 rows. In the May month, you have 139, 249 rows plus 249 plus 136 plus 130 plus 139. When you add April, these all this, you will get in this appended in this final file, which contains April, May, June, July, all months data. You can click on over here, see April month data. When you scroll down, see May month data. 6, June month data. See, July month data. That means all 4 months will data will be added. And when you perform append, the number of rows, see 524 rows we got. That means number of rows will increase. Okay. And in order to perform the append operation, that you need to have same data types. You need to have same number of columns, and all the column number should be present in the same order. So this is the concept called as append concept. Okay, we have discussed three important topics. What is joins? Second, we have discussed about what is append, what is merge, when you go for merge, and how to merge the column. Third, we have discussed about append, what is the use of append concept. Okay, these three are the very important concept when to go for append and when you go for the merge. Okay, so that is a very important topics. Okay, so try to revise these topics because if I start the group by, it may be confusion for you. So in the next class, I will study, I will start with the group by concept because these three concepts, once you understand the joints, try to, because in the next class, I will practically implement the joints. I've given the theoretical understanding of the joints, right? So in the next class, I request everyone to go through this joint concept. And in the next class, I will explain you how you can apply the joint concept and how to merge the different tables, how to perform self joint, how to perform left joint, right joint, inner joint, full outer joint, and how to perform Cartesian joint, how to perform left anti-joint, how to perform right anti-joint. So I will explain you in the next class. Okay. So before coming to this class, so I request everyone to go this append concept, merge concept, and joints. And let us continue with the next class tomorrow because if I explain it, it be a type of confusion for you. Because I will every interview will ask this question on the joints. So better you try to listen this recording again and we'll continue in the next class. Okay. So next class, that next 1 hour of the class, I may take only one class instead of tomorrow if I take, otherwise I will take on Saturday. And otherwise, if it is possible, I will take tomorrow or at the evening or any sometime. So, but before coming to the class, whatever the topics that we have covered in yesterday's and in the last two classes, right? On that Saturday and previous classes, be perfect with that classes because there will be continuity of that classes. Okay. And
Sure.
thank you. Yeah, because I have some work to go outside, so I'm closing it early. But go through the previous classes as well.
Okay, so thank you.
Okay, thank you.